Oh, it's me, still adjusting my camera. Better. Yes, because when I look down, that will be perfect. It will. How is everyone? It's a sunny and blowy day here in South Oxfordshire. Let me just check. Someone sent me a... Sorry, someone just sent me a very odd email. Anyway, all the heading's odd. I'm live, that's the main thing. So, we're in South Oxfordshire. Yay! We like South Oxfordshire. So, how is everyone? As I say, it's kind of windy here. It's sunny, but it's windy. It's a little cooler as a result. I've almost planned what we're doing today. I know! Miracles will happen. So I'm using, if I can unbury it, Peekaboo Farm, which I have used before. I love it. It's so cute. So this is what we're using. I have worked out which animals we're using as well, because we're using Give It a Whirl, and we're using some of the paper from Bloom Where You're Planted. So that's the paper pack, which is on promotion, 15% off until the end of the 2nd of August. So just in time for the new mini catalogue to launch. So that's good. Now there was a reason I was looking at that. That's because I couldn't remember the colours. And I've now remembered the colours, so that's fine. Well, I say I've remembered them. I've checked one of the colours. I do, however, need another colour as well. So the one that I'm choosing is the brick wall, and it will become obvious why in a moment. So I want some Cajun Craze, I think. I don't often use Cajun Craze, so a very good reason to use it. So let me just grab some Cajun Craze, which is in my drawer. I'm going to need a piece that's about yay big. Yes, that's about right. So, hello Nora, hello Claire. So I'm hoping that catalogues have started arriving. I know some of them have already. So hopefully those will arrive either now already or very soon. Because we like a new catalogue. Anyone who shopped with me in the last 12 months should get one. Hi Suzanne from Washington State. This is the new catalogue. This is all I'm allowed to show you. You're allowed to see the inside of it. I'm just not allowed to show you the inside of it, which is kind of weird. For those of you who don't know me, I am Liz Yuille. I'm from Old Stable Crafts in South Oxfordshire. And I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator celebrating her 5th anniversary today! Today is my 5th anniversary of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Who would believe it's been 5 years? Hello, Jessie from Florida. So yes, 5 today. Don't look a day over 105. So it's a very special day. I would not have believed that 5 years ago this is where I would be, what I would be doing. But there you are. It's just life, really. So I'm just trying to sort out. I've made myself a cup of tea. Thank you, Nora. I've made myself a cup of tea in my cat mug. But it's one of those T2 teas. Anyone who has shopped with me and is therefore getting a copy of the mini catalogue will know what T2 tea looks like, because you have in your thing a thing of tea, a thing of Christmas tea. There are 4 different types of tea that are included, and you've got an arbitrary one. They are loose tea, so you do have to brew it in a pot, unless you've got one of those tea things that you know that you can put tea in and it's like a ball. Thank you, Suzanne. Which is kind of what I've got. Mine is not a Christmas tea because it's not Christmas. Mine is Melbourne Melbourne morning tea. I don't know quite, well I do actually. I do know what Melbourne has done to the tea. It's put vanilla into it, which is lovely. Just after midnight here in Melbourne. Well, there you are, Linda. I'm drinking Melbourne breakfast tea from T2, which is my favourite tea company. Oh, and apparently I've actually taken some exercise this week. Good heavens. Such a thing would never happen. It's called walking to the post box, to post a letter. Well, actually a card. And the card that I've just posted, which is going to be live on my website tomorrow, is the inspiration behind today's card, although it's using completely different stamp set. But there we go. So I'm going to flip everybody down so that I can show you what I have prepared. Oh, apparently it's 22 degrees and sunny here. So I'm using, as I say, Peekaboo Farm. Just waiting for the thing to catch up. There we go. And I'm using deliberately these three here. So I'm not using this sheep or the horse. I'm using these three, and the reason for that is because I am using Give It a Whirl, which is it's in the annual catalogue. Let me grab my annual catalogue and I will show you first of all where Peekaboo Farm is. Peekaboo Farm is on page 66. There it is, and they've used the Picture This dies. I'm using the Give It a Whirl dies, so if I find the dies, I will be able to tell you where Give It a Whirl dies hang out. They are on page 57. And the card that I've already made, that is in the post, is using the All for Baby, this one. But I'm using the Give It a Whirl, as I say, it's on page 57. I don't have Stellar Birthday. Hello, Audrey, I'm guessing it is raining where you are. But yes, so it's this set. Ooh, that's probably underneath the thingy. It's this set here. So, yeah, don't have the Stellar Birthday. I might get it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, so yes, I sent out to celebrate my anniversary. I've sent out to my team, who without my team I would be nothing. I've sent out to my team a box, apparently my brain, the rose craft kit. So they've each got a rose craft kit as a way of celebrating my anniversary. So, as I say, we're using the Bloom Where It's Planted paper, which is on the paper promotion at the moment. These are the papers in the set. Let's put that one there. Then we've got an A, a B, an A, a B, an A, and a B. So we've got all sorts of tonal things going on. And then these are the other ones. This is the one that I'm using. I've done various cards fussy cutting. This is one of those ones where if you cut it right, you end up with a white bit and a dangly bit. There's this wall as well, but that's too big for my critters. And there's those images as well. So that is the In the Bloom Where You're Planted, whatever it's called, paper. I'm going to be using a piece of cinnamon cider and a piece of the paper. I like to have a piece of card as well as the paper. Thank you, Audrey. I know, 5 years. Who would think it? So yes, I just can't quite get my head around it. But yes, I like to have a piece of card behind the die cut piece. It's quite easy to line up. So this is the die. Let's put it on the Cajun Craze, you can probably see it. So this is the die, and it comes, you get a choice of shapes to die cut, and I've used obviously this shape because it's the largest, but the choice is The choice is, you've got a heart, which is what I've used for the card that's on my website tomorrow, a circle, which you can put this circle around the outside of, a rectangle, so quite a few, or this one here, which, as I say, gives the largest hole, and that is what I used to decide which stamps I was going to use, because all I did was go, yep, that fits, and that fits, whereas that kind of chops him off at his chin, and snap, or you lose their ears, and I have a thing about not losing them. Hello, Pam, whose box has arrived. Yay! And I'm going to have the hello there because I think that looks, I think that's appropriate for this particular card. So what you do is when you feed it through your die cutter, you line up the circle, and a bit of washi tape or post-it note, that sort of thing is good, and you can then hold everything in place when you feed it through your die cutting machine. Cut and stamp and emboss, which reminds me, this won't work on it, but remember that if you're in the UK and you place an order with me this month that is between £50, well, that is £50 above and uses the host code, you get a pack of Genial Gems and an entry to win the small die cutting machine. Oh, how fun, Audrey. Yes, pigtails. Woo! So yes, do remember that. And if you place an order that's over £150, please don't use the host code, but you will still get an entry into the draw for the mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. It's not very easy to say, the mini stamp and cut and emboss machine, but anyway. Right, so let me just finish the bits of die cutting that I need to do. As I say, that's the main bit. I have also die cut, which are in the die set, the clouds, which are these, which are, let's see if I can get this back where it comes from. Yes, I can, so that goes back in there. They are stitched and they come with the set. As I say, this also comes with the set, and I've done the die cutting of the clouds. I do, however, need to just emboss. Hello, Lorna, and you didn't need to thank me for your box, but thank you. So this is it, you get the arrows to show people that they have to whirl it, and I've been trying to work out how to use this, and I think I've worked it out. You can get some die cut arrows as well, but they are very small. So let me just, what am I doing? I need to cut this so that it is slightly larger than the die. Hello, Jenny. The crazy Australians arrived. If you say so. As I've said, I'm drinking Melbourne tea today, Melbourne breakfast tea from T2 in my very cute cat mug. So I don't remember what the dimensions are of this, but I'm going to cut my mat very slightly larger. I mean, I will measure it all for you, but we're being governed by this rather than by the card base that I'm putting it on. So I've got about, if I go that way, I've got about 1/4 of an inch extra all the way round. So if I put that there, that should be about right. So it's a little bit wider and a little bit shorter, a little bit wider and a little bit longer. I caught you live for the first time. Yay! Thank you, Janice. Oh, bless you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy coming along. I just love sharing something that I'm passionate about. It's no more exciting than that, really. One of my level 2 in my team said to me yesterday, because her box arrived a bit early. They were sent second class, so they were all supposed to arrive today. Apart from the one that's going to Germany, which I don't think has arrived just yet. Oh, I need to trim that off a little bit more. But she said that one of the things that she'd found, now that she's found Stampin' Up, was that she's sharing her crafting with other people. And that's, I think, what it's all about. It's not about what a demonstrator can get out of their customers. It's what a customer gets out of their demonstrator, I think, personally. But, you know, as I say, that's just me. So, it's taken me a while to work this out. So, the idea, I think, is that you pop your die with your arrows, and there are a choice of arrows. You can either have one big one, which is the one that I've got, or two small ones. You pop it in so that it's on the mat that you're putting it onto, but you line it up there, and then you grab yourself a post-it note, or in my case a bit of very retired washi tape, and then you put it through your die cutting machine. Nothing to do with crafting, but how do you brew the lovely sachet? It was in a dreadfully soggy state. Your Happy Mail yesterday was in a dreadfully soggy state. Oh, I hope. Oh, did it get caught in the rain? I'm sorry about that. So how do you brew it? Well, I have a net thing that I use, but otherwise you can just put it into hot water. I mean, you can put it into a little teapot. No, I don't want that one. I want the big one. You just put it into a teapot and brew it like tea. You want about a mug's worth of hot water, she said unhelpfully. But yeah, a standard mug's worth of hot water, and just leave it to brew for, I leave it to brew for more than 5 minutes, but they say about 5 minutes. But I like a very strong cup of fruit tea. Hi B, but yes, I'm sorry if your Happy Mail arrived soggy. Not good. So you'll have soggy post-it notes and a soggy couple of catalogues. And things. Right, so if we remove this carefully, can you see, let me see if I can get this in the right place so you can see and get the light on it right. That's probably the best I'm going to get. What about if I go over there? Anyway, there is a little arrow that you can see in real life anyway. So let me go back to there. Right, so that is how you do that. And then pop it back onto the mat. Right, I think I'm pink, therefore I'm spam. I think I've done all my die cutting. Yes, I have. Right, let's just check. So I've got my background, or mat. I've got my other piece. I've got my foreground. Did I die cut my circle? Yes, I did, because I've got a circle cut away. Just can't find my circle. Where did I put my, there it is, circle. Right, okay. So I will need post-it notes, which have clearly been in the sun, because that one's faded. I bought these yesterday from a very cheap shop. But did that help, Audrey? So what I'm going to do is, I can see on here there's a very slight indentation from this die, which die cuts the wheel that you stamp on. So I am going to just cover, so I can see my wedges, if you like. So I'm just going to cover, oops, I'm just going to throw that across the room. So I'm going to cover a wedge so that I know where I'm stamping. The reason for doing this is so that you don't end up stamping into a wedge you didn't mean to. Where did I put it? There it is. Always. Always. 20 past midnight in Australia, Heidi. Wow. I always put my cars and things in plastic when sending so it doesn't get wet. Yes, I hadn't anticipated that as it's summer that there would be wetness. I mean, I don't know why. It is the UK after all. Right, so I need another crazy Australian. I need this. I also just want to make sure that I know roughly where this is going to end up. So that, right, so I'm going to stamp towards the bottom, so I know that everything's going to be visible. So I'm going to do my sheep first. It doesn't actually matter which order I do them in, but I'm going to do my sheep first. Well, technically it's a ram. Let's just test that out on my post-it note first. Yeah, I thought so. It's a little bit, it's new. I don't think I've used this stamp before, so I need to just prepare it, otherwise known as rub it on my hand. Oh no! Oh, with your husband in it. Whew. So he's coming home. Whew. I was having a little bit of a panic there. Glad your husband is coming home, Jenny, rather than the other way round. Right, so I am just going to stamp my little chappy. So there's our first critter. And then I'm going to peel off my post-it notes and pop them onto the next wedge. And prep this one, also known as rub it on my hand. This just gets the finish off. Thank you for the lovely kit. When it's raining on your holiday next week, absolutely, Lorna. The kits are just perfect for wet days, really. Anyone who's on Instagram, I did a reel, my first ever reel, on Instagram with one of the other kits. And I have to say, though I say so who shouldn't, I'm really quite pleased with how it turned out. So, yes. Right, a cow. And finally, oink, oink, a pig. Right, and again, I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and ready for ink. Oh, and I've smudged, never mind. I think it will be hidden. Or you think it will be hidden. Or you think. I might have stamped that a little bit high, but anyway. Oh, and it's on the pig anyway, so I can make that a dirty smudge. Right, so that is the stamping done for those bits. I also want to just grab my hello there and stamp that on a scrap of white and put that to one side for the moment. So now we get to colour, and I do like doing a bit of colouring. So this is going to be that's yes, perfect, lovely. Okay, so I am going to grab Petal Pink crumb cake, cinnamon cider, and grey granite. Hello, Patricia. Not your fault. Envelope was nearly open. Oh no! Just need an airing. Stair rod rain yesterday. Oh, yeah, we'd had a downpour yesterday, which wasn't great, but I'll put it in my wee pot and use my very old tea strainer. That's the thing to do. Right, so I'm going to start with the sheep because that's the first one that I stamped. You do need to make sure that although Memento is great with alcohol blends, it is better if they're dry first. Just saying. So I'm going to start with a bit of dark round his chops. And under his bit there. And I'm using grey granite because I'm going to use grey granite for the card base. So rather than smoky slate. And I think that sheep are not white. At least the ones around us aren't. So I'm going to have him kind of grey-ish And I will then fade him out a bit, which I will show you what I mean in a moment. Do I need to do his feet? Yes. Right, feet, you understand, rather than hooves. Sad, really, isn't it? Might be a good set for your friends' kids. Absolutely. It's such a fun... Well, the Peekaboo farm is just cute, cute, cute. The Give It a Whirl is also really fun. Wasted on children, frankly. Right, I've got the colour lifter, which I know I say this pretty much every time. It's not so much a colour lifter as a colour pusher backer, but hey, we're calling it a colour lifter. And I'm going to blend all of the grey granite that I've already put down with this, because it's going to fade it a bit. So we are going to be more of a sheep colour and less of a very dirty sheep colour. I'm going to avoid doing the hooves. I will be doing its Billy Don't at the front, just not yet. The more you use, the more faded it becomes, and I'll show you why I say it's a pusher backer in a moment. I'm going to give it a pink face. I know it's a sheep and it doesn't really have a pink face. You've got Peekaboo Farm. Excellent. Actually, I think I'm going to use the pale petal pink. And then I can do a bit of shading with the dark. Now, because I've used quite a lot of the colour lifter, it has bled slightly over the stamping, but that's fine because we want a bit of shading, so it's fine. Now, if you don't have a colour lifter, you can use crumb cake for the sheep's face. Yeah, you could do, absolutely. I have to say I am going for the cute end of the scale rather than the realistic. But yes, if you don't have a colour lifter, you can use any really pale blend, preferably one that at least tones. So I'll give you an idea of that in a moment. But I will show you what I mean. Right, so we've actually got some 3D kind of shading coming on because I've got dark here, so it brings everything forward. Then, if I go back in with a little bit of light grey granite, and I have to say, every time I type grey granite, my spell checker tells me I've typed it wrong, because in the UK we spell grey with an E. But because the colour is not named with English as its main language, but with US American, well, it is English, but it's US English, I spell it with an A, so it's grey, G-R-A-Y, not G-R-E-Y, granite, and my spell checker every time tells me I'm being naughty. So you can see I'm blending that quite a lot, and because I'm using the colour lifter, I'm getting this kind of mottled effect, and this is what I mean by it's actually pushing the colour back. You spell it with an E too. Yeah, I mean, English, UK English, in inverted commas, proper English, it would be with an E. But the colour is grey with an A, so that's one. So yes, you can see that where I've used the alcohol, it's pushed it back. So it's technically a colour pusher back and not a colour lifter. Right, I'm going to do crumb cake light for the horns. And I'm kind of just going to put a bit of highlighter on in a minute by using the colour lifter. So I'm just going to pick out where the light would shine a little, not a huge amount, just a little bit. shows for me. But you can add it to your dictionary. I can add it to my dictionary, but I actually want it to know that grey is spelt wrong, because when I'm typing things that aren't grey granite, I want grey with an E. However, Heidi is right to say that Jenny, you can add your Jennifer correctly. But again, it depends on whether you want it to remind you that you're spelling something wrong, that you know you're spelling wrong, or not. Now, I was talking about using colour lifter, or if you haven't got colour lifter. So this is Evergreen, Evening Evergreen, which is quite a dark green. Love it. So if I come in with a toning but pale, this is light soft seafoam, I can come across the middle and lift the colour, because basically what the lighter colours have more alcohol in them, is basically the thing. But it does mean that if you don't have a colour lifter, you can use, and you can see here, this is a very good example of where it's pushed the colour back. Oops. Hi Beverly. You typed it in Google. Oops. Anyway, so yes, it pushes the colour back and onto your grid paper, which is fine. So here we are, half an hour in, and all I've done so far is colour a sheep and waffle about the fact that I'm 5. I mean, I'm not. I am a lot older than that. Right, so pink for a pig, because I'm going cartoony cutesy. So I'm going to start by colouring the whole thing with the light petal pink. You could at a pinch use pale papaya. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the outside with the bullet tip. And then I'm going to come around the inside of it with the wedgy end. Now, it comes out with more alcohol out of this brush tip end, so it looks as if it's darker, but it will dry back to the same colour, because it's the same stuff in both ends, it's just one end has a wider tip. So that's my basic colouring. Then I can come in and I can shade. Yeah, I know. Good, isn't it? Waffling's good. It's just as well, Jenny. So I'm going to come in and do a little bit of blending. And I'm going to blend around his eyes as well. And around his ears. Basically anywhere where I think there may be a shadow. So I'm definitely going to have a shadow down here. And I am going to add some dirty bits, because we've got to cover up my smudge. Just blend that in a bit. Now, the other thing to be aware of, and I'm sure you are, is if you layer your colour up, so put more than one layer of the same colour down, you'll get a more intense colour, which looks darker, but it is actually just more intense. So where I'm adding more of the light, for my vision here, it is looking a little darker. That's not very well blended. So yes, if your colour's not dark enough, just put another layer on. I would wait between. Didn't quite make it to your 5th on the 15th of June. Oh, you could always join again and try and get to 5 next time. I remember that we joined at about the same time, Audrey. That I had remembered. Dark crumb cake, just to add a bit of, you know, pigs are dirty. Well, they're not actually. They're left in dirty conditions. They like rolling in the mud and things. So I'm going to have a few splodges on my pig. And I may blend those out a little bit. And I'm going to have, actually I'm going to go grey granite for his snout, but I'm going to go light grey granite. Like that. And yeah, I think I might come in with a little bit of blending that out. This is the dark. Right, so that's our porky pig. Now we've just got to do our cow. I'm going to do a kind of, it's not really a Frisian and it's definitely not a Jersey, but I'm going to do a cow that is crumb cake and cinnamon cider. So I'm going to go light crumb cake for most of my cow. You know, I'm making up my cow. You could just do it black and white. I think you need to do it more than one colour because it's kind of got colour on it. Don't know why I'm not using the brush tip end for the larger areas, but you know, that's just the way I rock and roll sometimes. Now the thing to do is to make sure you do bring the colour down towards this central area, because otherwise you could end up with a naked animal. An Ayrshire, if you say so. Oh, good, Jenny. I'm glad the ambulance looks like it's here. Coon pigs. I don't know, so I know coon pigs. Brown Swiss, whatever. It's going to be one of them. It's a cow that's got brown splodges. This is light cinnamon cider. I thought it was, but I thought I'd better check. Now its nose I am going to do in petal pink because I think cows tend to have slightly pink noses. I'm going to bring in a bit of dark cinnamon. I always do that. You'd think it wasn't marked which end was the bullet tip, but it is. And then just blend that out a bit. And a bit of dark cinnamon cider, crumb cake for shading. Under its nose, bottom of its ears, and I think we'll use dark crumb cake for his horns. Might be she. Don't know. Because some cows, female cows, have horns. I was just reading all about Heidi's Facebook page. Right, so blend that out. Now this is basic white. I had quite a lot of Whisper White in stock, but I am now onto basic white. I'm liking it for blends. Don't know what everyone else thinks, but I quite like it for blends. Particularly if I put my lid back on. Right, so I'm going to go petal pink. Ooh, that's quite pink. And I'm going to go petal pink with some crumb cake, I think, because that is quite orange. Light crumb cake. Yeah, that'll kill it a bit. I want that kind of depth of colour, but I don't want it orange. Right, okay, so that those are my little critters dealt with. So we can put that lot away. Cooney. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I know those. But that's fine. I don't have to know everything. I don't know. If I did have to know everything, we'd be struggling because I don't. Right, I'm going to stick this onto this with some multi-purpose liquid glue. Actually, I'm going to put the glue on here. And as I said at the beginning, for those of you who joined later, I like a bit of cardstock for this layer, but I am aware that I also like designer series paper. So the easy way to deal with that is to use both. But if you put the glue onto the card, it is less likely to crinkle your card. You can use seal, but The difficulty with seal is getting it round your aperture. Thank you, Debbie. And that then lines up nicely. And now I'm going to press from the back, because that's what I always do. And just make sure that it's all square, which it is. So that is our front. Got a bit of glue coming through there. Lorna, for what it's worth, I currently live opposite a building site where they are building 36 homes. And it's literally the other side of the track that we live on. It's just there the whole time. It's just appalling. But there we go. Right, so we've got this, we've got this. We need to push this up. We need to attach this to this. So we need a brad. I need to find my brads. There they are. They're on my metallic thingy. So these are the round and square brads. The square are very square. And the quite large, I mean, and the round ones are less so. I'm going to use white. You can actually colour your white ones with ink and clear embossing powder. So you just dabble this in your ink, and because it's not porous, it will sit on the surface. Then pop it in your clear embossing powder and heat it, and you can put colour onto your brads. You can colour them with your blends, but the colour isn't necessarily true. Now I like my brad. I don't like this funny little V thing at the top of a brad, so I tend to try and squish my brads so that they end up flat. It's just me. I know they do, don't they, Beverly? So to join one to t'other, all you do is you stick your brad through the hole that the die makes, and then stick it through there, and then open up your wings. And again, this is just the way I am. I like those to be flat, so I get a bone folder and I actually flatten it from behind. Yeah, it's not just the lorries actually, Audrey, it's every piece of machinery on the building site. When it reverses, beep, 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 beep. They don't work Saturday afternoon or Sunday. Just saying. So that's then going to layer onto there. Now I need to score this. So, trimmer. This is a half sheet, just cut long thin. And I score at about there, which is about 14.8 centimetres-ish. For those of you working in metric, it's about one of the few things I do in metric. So that is my card base. This is where I've got my little arrow thing, so that's going to go on there first, and then I'm going to layer this. No, actually I'm going to do it the other way around. Let's not tempt Providence. So we need quite a lot of dimensionals, because what we need to do is to build up a gap between the two. You can just glue one to t'other, but it's going to be very stiff to turn. Can't call them brads, they're always paper. Yeah, absolutely, they are paper fasteners. So yes, it will turn better if there's a gap between the base of this and this. Now this is one time where I do go a bit mad with my brads, not my brads, my dimensionals, because I want there to be good support everywhere so that this doesn't dip, because if it dips it's going to get caught. going to come back to that, and I'm going to come back to that. Right, this is where your side bits come in for their own, because you can tuck them into little areas. So, and there are two different shapes of side bit. There is the side bit with the bit sticking out, and then there's just the zigzag. The side bit with the bit sticking out is perfect for there. So we can pop that there. So we've got a nice straight edge and it's keeping that up. Then we need to go the other side because of the way I've cut them. And is that right? Yes. Have to think there for a moment. Ooh, does help if you actually cut there as well. So this can then go in there. And then this can go in there. And then this is where the zigzaggy bit is perfect, because that is just wide enough or narrow enough, depending on how you look at it, to go there. So take all these backings off. Perfect, Pam. So yes, this, it's Give It a Whirl dies. You don't have to get it as a bundle, so you don't have to get the Stellar Birthdays, which may or may not be something that floats your boat. The foam strip, no, the foam strips would work. They are going to make your card large letter, which is why I tend not to use them if I can avoid them, because they are a little bit deeper. But they would work. And by large letter, I'm talking United Kingdom here and postage rates. But by the time you've got a cat hair, by the time you've got a brad and dimensionals, let's stick it to a dimensional, that'll get rid of it. It's, yeah, it won't go through the standard letter gap. Okay, and there's our little arrow going twirl me, so you can just twirl round. Yeah, and because we've got dimensionals, it just turns easier. Everything's better with cat hair. You're absolutely right, just as well in this house. Now, I don't often let the cats into my studio, and yet we get cat hair everywhere. Now, I've got my fluffy clouds, which I do still want to use, and they are vellum, and I'm going to show you how I have hidden my adhesive, or how I will hide my adhesive. I know the clouds are below the wall. This is in the UK. We do get clouds below walls because the walls can be up a mountain and we can be down it. Just saying. Right, so we're going to have that there. Then we're going to have our hello there. Now, I need a punch that is still viable to do that with. I can't remember what punches we've still got because I've got all of the ones that we've ever had. So I need to just check because I don't want to use retired product. I think that's mean. Right, here we go. So, obviously don't want a butterfly or an elegant tag or a border. Tum-ti-tum. Might fit one of the ovals or the Label Me Fancy. Actually, I think Label Me Fancy might do. Let's have a look at Label Me Fancy. What I actually need to do is put away the punches that are no longer in the catalogue. This may or may not work. No, it's going to be too narrow. In which case, we are going to go... In which case, I think I'm going to stamp it again. Ooh, I like that one. Right. So let's see how wide this piece of card is. I want this to be 1 inch wide, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment again. So let me just chop a bit off this and get my mini chopper and cut this down to 1 inch per inch. Don't need to lose much, but I do need to lose a little bit. So that's that. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm going to punch one end first. That's kind of what I need to do, either that or sell them. I'll never sell my circle punches, just saying. And when I say sell, I do bog-offs, stuff like that. I normally have them on a separate shelf of my trolley as well for the ones that I'm keeping, but I just haven't got around to it. Life is just a bit manic at the moment. Someone said, where would you like to go on holiday if you could? And I have to say, at the moment, and I have to say the answer to that question is I don't care, I just want to be away, and I want this year to be over. I thought last year was crap. This year takes the biscuit and some, as far as I'm concerned. But there we go. Right, okay, so I'm going to trim this down a wee bit. Not a huge amount. Let me just grab that. I put it back. You just can't make it up, can you? So what I'm going to just do is, no, I will do that end because it's square. It's not, actually I could do that, couldn't I? I could do that end. What I just want to check is how much I need to chop off in order to get the thing where I want it to be. Thing is punch, by the way, in Yuille. How's my heart now? How is my heart now? That's a very good question. It's still up a bit. I mean, it's down to 68 resting, which isn't too bad, but it's still not great. Right, I think I want it to be probably about that long. It's going to take time, Jenny. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's fine. It's, you know, it was just interesting when I was thinking this is all very weird and I feel a bit weird. And right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a very, very small, if I can find it, there it is, amount of seal. I say small, it's actually not going to be that small. I'm going to pop some seal on the back of this and pop it onto here because I need an arm. Here is an arm, and I'm going to go in so that the stamping is face up in here so I can see if it's in the wrong place. Now I want it off a little bit more, just a itsy witsy bitsy teeny weeny bit more, and I mean an itsy witsy teeny weeny bit more. There we go. Yeah, that's better. So I've just attached that to this piece of card, and if you twist it, it comes off. Oh, 68 is okay if 68 is your normal resting heartbeat, but it's not. I mean, it did get up at one point, it was at about 78, which for me, I mean, it's still okay. It's just, it's not my normal resting heartbeat. Yeah, I know. What I actually need to do is start running again. How's husband? He's a lot better, but he's still not right. But he is a lot better. Right, so I'm going to have hello there, and I am going to stick it with seal. So I'll put a reasonable amount of seal on. Part of the reason I'm using seal rather than a dimensional is because we've already got quite a lot of fatness, and there is some vague hope in my mind that we might get this through the large letter, or through the not large letter slot. So actually I'm going to come down a wee bit so that it's between bricks and over to, actually if we go that way that's probably better. That's good, because I don't want it lined up with any of the bricks. otherwise it looks too meant. Right, so these I'm going to attach with a very small amount of adhesive, and it's going to show, and I'm going to show you how I cover it up. So I'm going to pop the adhesive on, and then I'm going to do the next one, and I'm going to use 3 little splodges on each one, and they are tiny little splodges because these are not weight bearing. Hello, Cindy from Tennessee. Oh, night, Debbie. I forgot to, I missed that Debbie was leaving. Right, okay, I'm going to use my craft thingies. Actually, I'm going to do this one first. So, I'm going to pop this one down first, and you will see the glue. It's fine. Really don't mind. Really don't mind that you're going to see the glue. It's going to be fine. Trust me, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I know that clouds don't normally lurk beneath walls, but we are in the UK, and in the UK they do. And in my world, they do. Highland cattle, yes, she does live in Highland cattle country. Right, so those are my clouds attached. Now I've just got to decide what I'm going to use to cover them up. Ooh, I know what I can use. New product warning. You have a calendar beside you, Audrey. Perfect. So these are the subtle shimmer sequins, which are in the mini catalogue. And I haven't used them yet, but they are silver and opaque and just yummy. So what I'm going to do is pop where I've popped the glue. I'm going to pop more glue. So the glue, the sequin, is going to hide the pop of glue. It's almost like I planned it. Right, I need one of these. And let's see what we've got. Oh, these are gorgeous. Because, as I say, some of them are opaque and some of them are... These ones are like vellum. They're wonderful. Now, ideally, you want to wait until that glue is a little bit drier so that it's tacky. I want some of the little baby ones. There's a little baby one. Come on. Yep. Although I'm not sure the little baby ones have a flat bottom. I'm going to make you stick. Let's have... Are any of these flat grey? Yes, they are. That looks like it's flat grey. But yes, this is easier when the glue is slightly tacky, because then it's got a bit more bite to it. It needs to be flipped. And this is what the Take Your Pick tool is so good for when you want to pick up these little embellishments. Yeah, so that one's beginning to get to the point where it is tacky. Unfortunately, my Take Your Pick has decided it loves that sequin a lot, which is not ideal. Oh, and I've got a sequin caught on my Take Your Pick tool. So we might as well use it. That one there. There we go. And let's use that one. These are gorgeous. But the whole suite for these is gorgeous. I think it's Peaceful Christmas, something like that. Hello, Jenny. Yes, that is always a problem, Audrey, if they stick to you rather than your project. But I think that's where the Take Your Pick tool does actually help. So there we are, that's our sequins. Let's pop that back up on my little surface there. And this is where I'm going to run the risk of them moving while actually if I pick this up, then I can hold it. So those of you in the UK, I'm actually thinking of doing a mini card kit that includes lots of the Give It a Whirl die cuts that you can then play with and make some cards with. I've got product shares available to reserve until the 1st of August, up to and including the 1st of August. So if you want a product share and you're in the UK, details are on my website. Let me just press that down. And we need a liner. That's a card, not a liner. So I think we need, where's my Peekaboo? There's a cute little birdie here, which I think we just have to put onto the bottom of the card, because it's too cute not to. Get my baby block. And I know I haven't used this before, so I'm going to take any finish off it. And then I can pop my little birdie down there. And I am going to colour that, so I'm just going to leave it for a moment while I quickly clean up my stamps. So, as I say, there's another card on my website tomorrow that uses the Give It a Whirl, but it's got the All for Baby. So if you want to see some other ideas, there's other ideas there. I've already got a Peekaboo Farm card on my website, so if you search my website for Peekaboo Farm, or indeed YouTube, you will find that. I think I'm going to go blue. I'm going to go really blue. This is going to be a bluebird. Night, Jenny. 1 a.m. Good grief. Oh yes, it's after 4. So just a little bluebird in the bottom corner there. So that's balmy blue. Then all I need to do is add this with some seal, and we are done. So yes, if you need product share, that's on my website, and there's a video of what's included on my YouTube channel. You can reserve that up to and including the 1st of August. I will then place the order in the crack of sparrow hours of the 3rd of August. So there we go. That is our Give It a Whirl card. So we've got our little porky pig, and then our cow, and lastly our ram. As I say, this worked really well with those 3 characters. These 2 are a little tall, but otherwise, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. As ever, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Bottom right hand corner, hit the alert bell and you will get an email when I go live, etc, etc. And thank you, Lorna. Don't forget to give me likes if you have enjoyed the video. If you're watching on replay, any comments you leave I will reply to. I had a massive session yesterday. I'm very naughty. I'm about 3 weeks out of date. Sorry. But I have now replied to all of those. So yeah, there you go. And as I say, there'll be another card similar but different on my website tomorrow. If you don't sign up for haven't signed up for my newsletter, please do. You can do that on my website. You can also sign up to be told when I have posted on my website. So there we are. Thank you very much indeed. Let me flip you up so I can say goodbye properly, because I like to say goodbye properly. So yes, thank you very much indeed, all of you, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, if you did, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you again live on Tuesday, 11 a.m. UK time. There'll be a simple stamping project on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. And otherwise I will see you same time next week, next Thursday, by which time I'll be able to show you the inside of the catalogue. Yay! In fact, can I do that on Tuesday? Can I do that on Tuesday? Let's just check. I can do it on Tuesday! Yay! Anyway, I'll put up my end screen. Thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic day, night, morning, whichever is appropriate, and I'll see you again very soon.